What's up, my G?
Yo,
I am tagging you now.
you hear me good?
Yeah, hear you loud and good.
Yeah, if you tag, it's probably easier. Then I can just repost it on the story.
Yeah.
Why isn't it showing? It's like blank. Weird. Okay.
All right.
I'll do another thing. Ask me questions. All right. I'll check that now.
What an horse. What an horse.
We are live.
We are live. We are live, my brother. This camera is my camera dirty?
Yeah, it looks blurry. I was going to say that.
Yeah, I've been trying to fix that. Baby wipes, give it a good crack.
Are you at your office today?
Yes, I am in Dubai. You know, when you get a residency in Dubai, you need to have an office.
Mm-hmm.
So, spent the night at a little Ting's house, and then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna pop in and have a look at this place. So here we are.
I only went to my office once.
Yeah, I don't go often at all. See the Shahed drones coming in. So,
No, we can talk about that. I have seen several reports about the UAE making either direct or indirect attacks on Iran. I'm not sure whether it was their military directly or this is fake news or via allowing for US and Israel to use their airbase. I'm not really sure, but it popped up on that Mario Nafal's X page. And the reason I wanted to bring this up wasn't because of whether or not I believe they were attacking Iran or not. It's because this Mario Nafal, he lives in the UAE, yet a lot of his posts, it's very clickbaity. Oftentimes it is genuine fake news, but he's somehow able to get away with it because he cites the source as if it's not his opinion. So as long as he puts the source in there, he's not responsible for it. Even though a lot of people are watching his channel, his Instagram feed, his X feed. You know the guy I'm referring to, yeah? Myron Orfall?
Mm, the black guy?
Nah, he looks Arabic. I would say he is the most popular Western journalist in Dubai. He's got 3.4 million followers on X. They're definitely a lot of real followers.
Oh,
Mario Norfal. It sounds like an Arabic
yeah.
name.
Bro, he's Lebanese Australian.
Oh, Lebanese Australian. He doesn't have a full Australian accent though.
Ah,
But he fully blew up. Like he's proper blown up.
really?
Yeah.
I should get him on the podcast.
I thought maybe you already had.
Nah. Ah,
Yeah, he was the one who reposted it.
very cool.
I'll actually find out. Anywho.
Very cool. No, he's not on my radar, but I will. I'll look into him.
Are we
And he's
ready to
blown up on
start the show?
X.
Sorry?
He's blown up on X.
I think he's blown up everywhere. He's on YouTube too. He's been popular for a while.
Got it. Got it.
I
No, he
see
hasn't
that
been
we're
on my
live.
radar.
We're
Yeah,
live.
we're live, bro. We've been live for a while.
Cool.
Cute.
All right. What would you like me to talk about? Well, I got a couple of things I can talk about, but what about you? You tell me what Dubai's like first, if you are at
Dubai's.
liberty to
Yeah.
say.
I've got a gun behind the laptop right now. I can't tell you the whole truth. Dubai's normal, bro. Dubai's normal. I mean, look, obviously the businesses have taken a hit. Um, you know, all the restaurants. I mean, we went out and restaurants were kind of quiet. Um, so yeah, but the biggest hit has been the businesses being hit. It's not really anything else. Like, there's no danger here. I'm sure at the beginning, a couple of girls I've spoken to, I've reconnected with here since I've been back. Like, how was your experience? They all say at the beginning I was shitting myself because I'm from Ukraine, and I thought, holy shit, this is going to be another Ukraine. So, but now everyone's kind of calm and everything's kind of back to normal.
So why
But
haven't
bro,
people returned?
good question. Good question. I mean, the damage is there's been some damage, right? There's been some damage to the yeah, people go to Miami and they're like, "Oh, I'm having fun time here," and Dubai's getting hot, right? So that's probably what they're thinking, and they'll probably come back when it starts getting better. But being back now, it looks pretty normal to me.
When what
But
gets
business
better? What
has
do you
slowed.
mean? When what gets
The
better?
weather, the weather,
But they
when the
were not there in March when things had already calmed down. And April is the last month of the busy season. And typically, for many businesses, the busiest month. A lot of people don't know that about Dubai, do they? That April can actually be busier than Christmas for a lot of businesses. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, for me, from what I see, it's always busy, right? December or if it's April or January, whatever, it's always busy. But yeah, typically April is busier because it's basically, when you got summer opening party and closing party in Ibiza, it's like the closing party, right? It's the closing party of Dubai. Now we're going to go to Europe and spend some time there. In the Emirati, they spend a lot of time in London. So it typically is very busy, and then now it goes to, and then obviously quieter months become a little bit quieter. Summer becomes a quieter month, but businesses have been affected. Real estate has been affected. The restaurants have been affected. People haven't come back probably because we're going into summer, but I think winter coming around, depending how this war goes, though, that's another thing we got to factor in. If it all starts kicking off again, right? What's going to happen? So I
And you
watched,
think it won't kick off again? You think the war won't kick off again? You think that the UAE will now be immune to the dispute between US, Israel, and America?
It depends. It depends what America do. If America, put boots on the ground and really use their air force to immobilize, because right now they don't know where to bomb because everyone's gone into hiding. But if they put boots on the ground, then they're forced to come out of hiding and fight. That's when US can use the air raids and the air force that they have to start bombing the fuck out of whoever they need to do, or whoever they need to bomb the fuck out of. But it just really depends how they do it. But I think. Let's see. Let's see. We're all speculating, bro. It's just all speculation. We have no idea what's
Do you
going to
think
happen.
I
Trump does.
speculate when I analyze the war? Do you think I speculate?
Well, it is a speculation because it hasn't happened. It's all speculation. When we go, oh, this is what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. The thing is, Trump's main strategy is unpredictability. His the people around him don't even know what he's going to do next. I don't even think he knows what he's going to do next because things change all the time. Like he tweeted yesterday saying got a letter back from the Iranians and I'm not happy.
I don't
Right?
speculate unless I preemptively tell people I'm about to speculate. I don't speculate. That's why I've been accurate with regards to this conflict. I don't speculate. For example, when I see the
Yeah.
Brent crude price go north of $100 and prior to that it was 60 to 70, I'm not speculating. I'm stating a fact. And the reason for the Brent crude price to be $100 on the public market is because market participants are pricing in the Strait of Hormuz being closed. Even if it wasn't closed, that's what they're pricing in. That's not speculation. That's a statement of the material facts.
But
And
you're asking me, is it going to kick off again? When you're
no,
going to answer a question like,
do you think, and then I
that's
ask,
that's speculating because we don't
yeah,
know. We
yeah,
don't
I
know.
know. But do you think I speculate when I analyze the conflict, as we always do every few days? Do you think I use speculatory techniques, or do I always reveal material facts?
No, you bring in material facts and when we're looking at, but it depends what we're talking about. It depends the topics we're talking about. Is it going to kick off again? It's a speculation. We don't know. Now, is Brent crude going to go over 200? We can look at material facts such as the Strait of Hormuz being closed and things like that. It
Let's
depends
look
on
at
the
the
topic.
facts then. Let's look at the facts today. Okay. Shall I? Shall I reveal some of the known facts?
Please, yeah.
Now, one of my clients is thinking of investing in a restaurant in J1 in Dubai. And
Great spot.
it's big. Though this is a big chain. It's not their first location. These guys are legit. My client's legit too. And I'm not sure what sort of circle he had to get in to receive this memo, but, I'm presuming that this offer is being tendered out to sophisticated investors worth north of $2 million, whatever. And one of the conversations that me and him had when analyzing whether or not it was a good investment is obviously the likely end to the conflict, because as it stands right now, even if the Strait of Hormuz was to just remain within this blockade between the US and Iran, no missiles fired, none of that, just the blockade itself, this alone was enough to disrupt the idea of my client investing in the restaurant. So we obviously need to see an end to the conflict. And the material facts are right now is that there is no formal war per se, at scale at least, that we know of, but the economic war has continued even during the ceasefire. And we know that based on the Brent crude price. And so moving forward, if true, I think you left there.
We're back.
Whose internet? That must be yours.
I think it is mine. I think it's the buildings. Yeah.
If true that this blockade continues, then for Dubai, not the UAE, this is terrible for tourism. Notice I said the word tourism. So if you are a business that is directly affected by tourism, or tourism is your main source of revenue derived, then you are up shit's creek without a paddle right now. Fair to say that?
Mm.
Okay. as opposed to if you're a business that serves the local economy in Dubai, maybe even unaffected if most of the residents haven't left. Okay. Unfortunately for Dubai, right now as it stands, the disagreement between Iran and the US is so severe that there is no short end in sight, like at all. Okay. But the UAE continues to operate because of Abu Dhabi taking charge here, MBZ, very strong MBZ, leaving OPEC, OPEC Plus, even though, production was likely ramped up beforehand. But now, publicly, legally, whatever have you, there is no dispute. They are going to be exporting more oil on their own. They are effectively an independent nation with regards to their resources. They're not part of the oil cartel. And so the buffer in place there is such that the UAE can survive, even thrive, even if, and I hate saying this, even if Dubai shuts down to Sharjah level, let's say. And it's just this, imagine Dubai for years even. Just imagine, this is worst case scenario, it won't happen. Imagine for years, all Dubai is an import re-export for some goods and people, Emirates Airlines, which is functioning well right now. Yes, there's rerouting and longer flights, whatever, limited capacity in some form of way, but they can tweak the business model to make money from that and within the local economy of Dubai. But can you imagine years of what you're seeing right now in Dubai? What sectors get hit the hardest? It's very obvious. There's two of them. One is tourism and the other one is?
Real estate.
Yes. Okay. Now, how much does real estate and tourism make up of Dubai's economy and then of the UAE's economy? Let's get the numbers. Shall we? Let's do worst case scenario. I have a very hard time talking to friends that are married to Dubai, so to speak, because they don't sit down and think, okay, let's play devil's advocate. Let's be that Chinese guy who thinks Dubai is done. Dubai is a mirage. And let's just play devil's advocate. I often do this with Bitcoin. And the way I analyze Bitcoin is that if the worst case scenario while playing devil's advocate is not convincing me to sell, I keep my Bitcoin. I have a look at all the FUD, all the biased media against Bitcoin. And if I'm still not convinced to sell my Bitcoin, I keep my Bitcoin and or I buy more. So let's do that for Dubai.
Real estate and construction is 15%. Tourism is 12 to 15%. So you're looking at anywhere from 26 to 30%.
All right, because not all of real estate's going to die, obviously, there's a local economy there. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's be just horribly unfair to Dubai and say 20% of the economy is affected. Now Dubai there, is this Dubai's stats or the UAE stats?
Let me see where the stat is coming from.
Just use Claude or whatever for now. It's good enough.
That's what I did. Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. You on the Opus 4.7 plus thinking though, just to make sure that it's the right prompt.
Silverkey.ae is the.
Don't worry about the sources.
That...
Claude Opus 4.7 will, find an aggregate of all the sources. It's fine. It's good enough for the sake of the conversation.
Sure.
How much of the UAE's economy though is tourism in Dubai and real estate? Let's be totally unfair. Let's say it just goes to zero. Do you know how much?
I'll start again. I didn't understand what you said. How much of it is?
Let me do it. I'll go even to Gemini while I'm here. Fuck it. It's good enough. How much of the UAE's economy is from Dubai's tourism and Dubai's real estate as a percentage and billions in revenue? Because I think you're going to like this math. And I don't see it discussed anywhere online. All right. So Dubai's tourism is about 70 billion, which it's pretty much what I see across the board. Again, here 13 to 14%. Wait, in US dollars, please, and only Dubai's portion of this. This we need to get this. It's going to be good for the conversation.
Yeah, take time.
All right, so let's say we've got 200 billion in real estate in transaction volume, and in tourism, what's that? Contribution to GDP. Holy shit, it's actually a lot. Let's say 100 billion between them contribution to GDP, which is, fuck, man, that's a lot. Dubai is
Well,
Dubai is paramount in the survival of the UAE. However, that said, if Abu Dhabi's exodus from OPEC and OPEC Plus is fruitful and there's no attack on any energy infrastructure, that provides a buffer, what I'm told, about 50 billion extra. So you're losing about 100 billion, you're gaining 50 billion. You're still down, but you're surviving. Okay. This doesn't include what happens to their sovereign wealth funds. Remember, that's outside of the UAE. So what you're looking at right now, the disconnect between a Dubaian and someone who's a macro analyst who actually understands foreign reserves, sovereign wealth funds, and Abu Dhabi and Dubai, is that what you're looking at right now could go on for years. Like, imagine a ghost town of Dubai. It could survive for years. However, that said, the issue is after a year of this, so you only have to skip one season, and tourism-related businesses will shut down, and they will have to, unfortunately, leave if they don't have the capital. Now, sure, the government can step in because a lot of these businesses are hybrid-owned. Like, look at Espresso Lab, my favorite coffee. I'm told Sheikh Hamdan is like a 60% owner or whatever. If that's true, yeah. Like, if that's true, he's obviously got the capital to be able to support his own investments, which are also investments to the economy. It's a hybrid thing, right? Because you remember, the politicians of Dubai are not like the politicians of Australia, where they're brokies. I mean, Albanese is a nobody. He's not a businessman. He doesn't have a life outside of politics before politics. Yeah. Whereas the Emirati politician is a good businessman simultaneously.
Yeah.
So
it's completely different.
Yeah, it's completely different. So you're okay to stay there in Dubai for years if you just want to kick around, and it's a place where you work from your laptop. Like, you will have I think you'll have a different Dubai. It'll just be different. It'll be better for people like me. I actually said this the other day. I said, Dubai right now, selfishly, is better for people like me.
Yeah. Well, everyone was saying, I'm so glad this has happened. This is exactly what I want. Like, because back then, there was only few restaurants. There wasn't as many restaurants as there is today. And it was much more local. People would bump into each other and be like, yeah, I've seen you here, I've seen it. Now you just don't see anyone anywhere because there's thousands of restaurants. Most amount of beach clubs in one location in the world. So right now, it's gone back to how it was before COVID.
Which is terrible for the leadership in Dubai and terrible for Dubai as an economy at large. We're all self-interested creatures. We don't realize morally what we say at times. I heard that very same thing from someone who lives in Dubai who was trying to protect the image of Dubai. It was some British guy. And I thought, You're that much of a midwit. You don't realize that you're insulting Dubai and insulting yourself at the same time. This person was saying the same thing. He was saying how much better Dubai is now that the escorts are gone, the crypto traders. And I'm thinking, you're happy that now Dubai's GDP has taken an enormous hit. Yet you're talking about how much you like the leadership, but the leadership are pissed off that there's less money in the economy.
Yeah.
It was retarded, but you could see this person has no fucking idea what he's talking about. Like that's the quality of the average midwit in Dubai. They know not what they say. they know not what they say.
Yeah.
They're so self-interested. They don't even have kids, these people. These are the true just grub of the grubs. They come from Britain. I don't know, they're salespeople or whatever. They come into a one-bedroom apartment in downtown. They don't want to contribute to anything except themselves. And so when their cafe is less busy or somewhere in Dubai is cheaper, now it's a celebration for them. It's just a reminder about how humans are. Yet they're ranting around Dubai as if they're patriots of a sort.
Now, what stage are we in this war? Are we just in the stage of waiting now to see what the next step is?
Right now, we are in the stage of attrition, which is not good. This is not good, bro. You see, I cannot understand sometimes how people don't see it from my rational point of view. Because when you hit somewhere hard, you're going to deplete resources fast. When you get into this standoff, you're slowly bleeding an economy, but you're building up your resources again. So can you imagine the fuckery if we go on for months like this because it's hot and no one wants to fight? And then the moment Iran sees that people would come back to Dubai in November, they do the same thing again a year later. Okay, with these analysis, what part of their lobe do they think Iran can't do the exact same thing again in November before the busy season in Dubai? And you think the leadership in the UAE don't know this, bro?
Yeah, I think the leadership in the UAE, they're not going to accept these people to still stay in power. But I don't think what's funny I'm back in Dubai now and I talk to people and they're just like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, oh. Now I kind of have I feel like I owe them an apology. Yeah, I'm Iranian. So sorry, so sorry. It's like, no, bro, it's all good. Blah, blah, blah. But sorry, I'm diverting a little bit. I just remembered I was doing. I've got that feeling now. I've got that feeling where it's like where somebody says Palestinian, like, sorry for your people. I've got that feeling now where I kind of have to feel like I gotta apologize. I think the UAE government's not going to allow a government like this to stay. Come on, they attacked your government, and now you're going to let them stay, and you're going to be next door neighbors. And also, I'm not sure if you've seen Ford coming out with a statement saying that the Pentagon has gone to them saying, "Stop making cars. We need you to start making weapons." So the US government is starting to stockpile and get their weapons artillery up.
Objectively, they have been. And if you have a look at capital markets, how much money has gone towards defense, objectively, that means, yes, you're right there, despite the headline being real or not. I'm not sure. We don't need to fact check it because we know capital is being sent to defense. Number two, we don't need to speculate on what MBZ's leadership group have said about the Iranian regime. Have a look at what the official Emirati citizen journalists have said about the regime. You remember we always have a look at Amjad Taha, who Mario Nafal had on the other day, which is how I kind of reconnected with his page. The man is as clear as day as to what the leadership in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, are saying about the Iranian regime right now. I mean, it's fucking, it's not on. It's not happening.
Yeah.
The writing is not on the wall. The writing is on your feed. You know when they say, "Oh, the writing's on the wall"? No, the writing's on your feed. As in, the official UAE government pages are saying it. Yet, for whatever reason, these wokey journalists who are so afraid to say anything that they'll feel responsible for don't mention it, except for obviously these official journalists. Now, you have to be somewhat empathetic to them because if you're in the UAE, there are things you can and cannot say. Okay, you included, but this is not our own words. I'm repeating what a tweet said. In fact, would you like me to bring up a recent tweet from an official Emirati journalist?
Please.
All right, let's have a look at the latest.
Please. I don't know why you don't do that more often.
Okay. Okay, look at this one. 44 minutes ago from Amjad Taha. Would he like to come on our stream? He follows me on Instagram. Maybe I can ask him. Okay.
That would be sick. Why don't we do that?
I'm just going to show you something, okay? No warning, no trace, no impact. This is his tweet a day ago. No warning, no trace, just impact. Look at the tweet. There you have an Emirati drone of thoughts, and it's just hammering where you think it is. All right, that's a day ago. If that's not good enough for you, look. Boom.
Wow.
Okay, number two. He just retweeted Mario Nafal's tweet. Have a look. Okay, this is Mario Nafal's tweet. And this is a tweet where Fox News released it. The UAE has stopped playing defense. UAE forces have reportedly conducted active military strikes inside Iran for several days. And there is footage of it right there. Once again, not my words, to reiterate, not my opinion.
So you saying the UAE is starting to get ready to go on offense?
I'm not saying they're getting ready. I'm saying they have already done it according to Amjad Taha, an official Emirati journalist, and according to the retweet of Mario Nafal, of whom lives in Dubai. Go hang out with him today. Ask him. Hit him up. I'd love to have
both of them live in Dubai?
Huh?
Do both of them live in Dubai?
Both of them live in the UAE. I presume Amjad lives in Abu Dhabi. I presume he lives in Abu Dhabi. Because typically a lot of these journos, they live in Abu Dhabi.
Got it.
Okay, now...
we need to start getting people on the stream. We need to start pre-organizing it.
Yeah, I do believe so. I mean, I'm going to find one more... And the Pakistani and UAE tensions, in my opinion, are rising.
Did you see what Pakistan told Israel? We're not. Don't throw something like try throwing bombs on us and see what happens. We're not Doha.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether or not they're playing, to be honest. There are so many Pakis, bro.
Where?
In the fucking world. Okay, look. Amjahad reposted. We need an end to the IRGC once and for all. At what point, are we all just turning the cheek to the fact that the UAE is about to go to war? What do you define war as? If this is true, they're already at war. Now, even if tweets like that were prevalent from official Emirati journalists and the proper, even if official Emirati journalists were tweeting stuff like that, and there's several of them, and this was propaganda, let's presume it was just propaganda. Why would leadership allow that? Why would leadership in the UAE allow that? They only allow it if there's a strategic reason for it, to show strength and or to be absolutely 100% truthful about what's happening here. There's very clear instructions to the world that the UAE, Israel, and the USA are friends, mates, brothers, allies, whatever. You can't go around. It's, gone are the days where you're a popular person and you're going around town being an anti-Semitic. Those days are gone, bro. Like those days of you being a Dan Bilzerian in Dubai are gone. Does he come to Dubai anymore?
He hasn't been here for a while.
I'll be shocked if he goes to Dubai. With what he said online about Jews. And has Dan Bilzerian called out the Emiratis?
No.
Because they're bros. The Abraham Accords, call it strategic, but if you support Israel in any way, shape, and form, especially to this degree, the Abraham Accords cooperation, you're their ally. I mean, and I'm not unhappy about that, but gone are the days you can be an anti-Semitic in Dubai.
Yeah, well, I mean, I tweeted about this a while ago. I mean, Iran has just basically pushed Israel into the hands of everybody else, which is the opposite of what they want.
Not
Now,
true. Western Europe is not on the side of Trump. A lot of countries are not, bro.
I'm not referring to
There's a
Western
divide
Europe.
here.
I'm referring to the GCC.
Oh, the GCC. Well, yeah, I guess the reality has come that when actually forced to choose between the psychos at the IRGC or the Israelis who really aren't as bad as people are making out to be, unless you're a fucking brokey or you're in Gaza, and there's fucking war all over the world. I mean, doesn't matter where you choose. This is the annoyance of the normie. They believe everyone should know about their war in Gaza or it's Sudan or Nigeria, but wars are just everywhere. They're in Indonesia, they're in South America, they're in the Ukraine where my family is, but they don't know anything about those wars. They don't even think those wars exist. And then they say shit like, well, our war's worse. How the fuck would you know, cunt? You don't have internet, cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the reality is that when forced to choose, everyone's like, oh, no, we'll take Israel's side before Iran's.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, I think Iran has pushed Israel into everyone's, friendship circle at in the GCC. We've got some questions in the chat, not the chat, in the Patreon. Now, guys, we're taking questions from the Patreon groups first, and if we've got time, we'll take some questions in the chat. But mostly, we're doing this selfishly, having a chat about what we want to talk about, and then jumping into the Patreon. Now, remember, the Patreon, you can also ask us questions privately if you don't want anyone to know. Now, Daniel, you ready? Do you think you would, Daniel, do you think the world really is as fucked as doomers believe? Yes, the world is definitely ran by satanic pedos. But those of us who are awake and trying to build wealth survive all the agendas. Love the podcast outlook on BTC and AI, trying to understand how you see the next 10 years globally. Thank you.
When did I say the world is run by satanic people? I'm not even fucking religious, bro. The fuck is this Christianity shit? What are you talking about? The world is run by the same type of people that have always ran the world, the powerful. This sounds like someone who is unhappy with his position, so he's resenting the strong and the powerful. I don't by default hate people who run the fucking world. I don't even fucking know them. You don't know them. How the fuck would you know they're satanic? You don't even know them. Neither you or me, viewer, are special enough to know the purple circle. We don't fucking know them. That's why they're powerful. You think me and Radin or any of the fucking people you have access to know who runs the world? Like, that's where you're deluded. We're unimportant. That's why we don't know.
If there was someone running the world.
If there was, look at the superpowers. Some part of the world, China is involved in their leadership, whether it be Xi Jinping or a group of them, whether they're puppeteers for him or he is actually the man. Okay, then you've got the Communist Party of China. They aren't religious. Then another part of the world, USA/Israel. You think Trump's religious? You think Trump is any more? You honestly think Trump is any more than a Yankee capitalist? You think he goes to church on Sundays? Even Netanyahu, you think that man is truly dedicated to God and he's like super Jewish? He brings up the religion when? Barely ever. He just does it to rally the normies. These people are capitalists, all of them. They're just trying to obtain as much power and influence as they can. They're not Satanists. They don't pray to Satan. They probably don't even think about Satan and Jesus. They just think about their power. Notice this about powerful men. Notice this. In reality, the idea of a powerful man submitting to anything is not on their agenda. Which is why a lot of your favorite influencers that are Muslims or Christians, they don't act very Muslim or Christian. Because they don't act in submissive ways. They don't act as if there is a higher power, even though they say there is. They don't act that way. Well, I'm a born Christian. Does that make me Christian?
You know, Ricky Gervais is a very famous atheist, and when he did a stand-up show, he goes, "So you're telling me, based on where you lived, based on where you were born, you were born in this particular location where predominantly they're all Muslims, and then that's the only religion to believe in, and that's the only. And thank God you were chosen to live there. Thank God you were chosen to live in that specific area of the world because you were able to be born in an area where it's the only religion that should exist."
Yeah. The polytheists who believe in multiple gods are funny because who created each god? Who created the gods? If God's the creator, who created God? So which God created the other God? And then the monotheists, which are Muslims and Christians, or I don't know if Christians are, they got Jesus and God. That one's hard to work out. But who created God if God created everything? No, I'm asking you, bro. Who created God? Do you know?
Man.
So we've flipped it. Man created God.
Man created God.
How? Who created man then?
God.
Do you see when you try to rationalize this stuff?
Yeah.
How Santa Claus-ish it actually does sound?
Yeah.
Because Ricky Gervais is a perfect pragmatist, which is why it's so funny. Because most Muslims are Muslim because their father was Muslim. As if to suggest, if their father was a Christian, there is a likely chance that they'd also be Christians.
Yeah.
If you can't see that being a Muslim is not only about being a Muslim, but largely about geography and culture, because the Quran is in Arabic. So you preserve Islam and you preserve Arabic, because by definition, you must read the Quran in Arabic and recite these Quranic verses in Arabic. It's a preservation of Arabs. So if you are not an Arab, you are far less incentivized to be a Muslim. Hence, if you are a Roman Catholic and your lineage goes all the way back to fucking Rome or where that part came from where they were speaking Latin, it makes more sense that you'd be Christian just based on geography. People act as if they act in ways that God come to them. And here's the biggest irony. They'll say shit like this: I trust the word of no man, only God. Yet a man told you about God. You don't trust your parents. You don't trust your parents. Oh, my parents are so fucking stupid. But your parents are the people that introduced you to this religion that you so live by. Which one is it?
I'm gonna write that one down. Now, our member, our Patreon member, here's a follow-up question. The gentleman that asked the previous question. The question was more about Daniel's thoughts on the next 10 years. It's my take that the elites are satanic. Daniel never said it.
The next 10 years for who? Because if you're not elite, why do you care about what the elites are doing? A, you're never going to know. I'm never going to know. I'm not an elite, so how the fuck would I know? If I knew what an elite was up to, the elites aren't acting very intelligently, are they? If some random streamer in Bali knows what the elites are doing, it's not very good OPSEC, is it? Oh, you watched a YouTube video about someone who told you what the elites are doing. Yeah, that YouTuber knows them. He's got their WhatsApp. It's like when people say the Jews are responsible for everything. I think, okay. The Jews are responsible for all of the terrible things in the world. So a little girl that's born Jewish, she's responsible because of her lineage. For example, when Hitler went to get rid of the Jews, he went to brokey Jewish businesses in Germany in their little Jewish blocks. Do you genuinely think those Jewish people had influence? These brokey Jews in Germany, women and children, retards. Do you think Jewish women had any influence in power whatsoever? Their hormones alone, by default, annexed them from the conversation. A 10-year-old Jewish girl had nothing to do with what happened in the world, supposedly from all these Jews. Now, if there was a group of Jewish people in the world that were controlling everything, how the fuck would you know? Because a true Machiavellian is able to do the deed without you knowing, without taking credit for it. If it's so heinous, he just won't take credit for it. So all of these YouTube videos are just speculators. This is what they talk about when it comes to anti-Semitism. And then the moment you raise it as a plausible scenario that all of these anti-Semitism type people are retards, they go, oh, you must be one then. Yeah, I must be one then because I discredited your stupid argument. You know? I'm a regular human being and I'm just a pragmatist. And I must say, people that aren't are insufferable to me. Now, the next 5 to 10 years for me are in Bitcoin because that is an asset class I have access to that I can materially change my life and my family's life. The comment to mention that we were able to navigate around the terrible world and how fucked it is. The world has always been fucked for idiots. Always. The world, since when was the world good for normal people? When? If anything, the world, overall speaking, is better now than it was hundreds of years ago. Less people live in poverty. than before. If you want to compare it on relative terms, the world is likely better for people now. But for some people, it's worse because some people weren't in war until a few years ago, and now they are. But what, you think Australia is worse now than it was 200 years ago? This fucking inhospitable desert full of blacks that only invented spears. Like, well, okay, let's go back to before Britain colonized Australia. Let's all go to Australia. It'll be amazing. Well, we're going to dig a 2-meter hole to get some yams and wrestle a fucking crocodile. No. Like these kind of
Progressively, it's always getting better.
yeah, but this guy's chudding out. He's chudding out. You know what a chud is?
No.
A chud is when people just know all of the buzzwords and buzz phrases like satanic pedophiles, blue pill, red pill, brokey, wagey, NPC, incel, goyim, Zionist. Like, they just know all the terms. My father knows none of them, and he's richer than these cunts. So my father, a proper half-wit from Croatia, who can barely speak English, has somehow outdone these supposed intellects that know all of these fucking buzz phrases. The mere fact that a 21-year-old is into politics is just beyond me. Like, you're not even at the stage yet where you should even be thinking about it. But they know all this shit. They know more than me. They know about history somehow. And they've got no fucking money. Like, sort out your own house before you try and sort out the country. You know what I mean? People start talking about the world. I wonder, what world? You can't even leave your state. You worry about the world. You can't worry about the world right now. You can't even afford a ticket to travel, bro. Sort out your house.
Do you think the Western world, this is another question from a Patreon member, do you think the Western world is trying to wipe out Christianity, Christian what is that? Orthodoxy.
Who's the Western world? Who's in the group? The Western world. Who?
UK, Australia, America.
Yeah, but who? Who's trying to wipe it out? You know what? The Western world doesn't give a fuck. That's why Muslims are taking over, because Muslims care about their religion, and children growing up in Australia and Britain don't give a fuck about religion. That's what it is. There's not some dedicated destruction of Christian Orthodox, because if there was, then over in Georgia, where I'm going in 2 days' time, there'd be no Christian Orthodox. Over in the Ukraine, where my family's from, there'd be no Christian Orthodox. Over in Serbia, there would be no Christian Orthodox. Over in Russia, there'd be no Christian Orthodox. You're just living in the wrong part of the world, because in the West, people don't give a fuck. They're liberal, they're secular. Man, who honestly wants to not fuck before marriage anyway? Why do you want this shit to survive? What is it that you want to participate in that needs to survive anyway? Like, the person asking this question, I bet he fucked before marriage. You telling me you don't try before you buy, bro?
Well, this is the Ethan.
For real.
This is the 23-year-old Ethan from yesterday.
Okay, Ethan, my G. You telling me you don't fuck before marriage? For real. You're gonna keep a chick, not fuck any bitches your whole life. Really? No, I'm just serious question, bro. I'm being straight with you. Because if you think you can and you care about Christianity, it's a major, major sin to fuck before marriage. Major. You can ask me, because I won the religious award in year 11 in Seton Catholic College. I went to a Catholic school. Serbians are Orthodox, Croatians are Roman Catholic, the Bosnians are Muslim. I've traveled the world. I've got residencies in 2 Muslim countries. I've got a residency over there in Eastern Europe, in Central Europe. I understand this stuff better than most. And you can't be fucking before marriage.
Ethan's also asking, How have you ever been to Serbia, Belgrade?
Yeah, but as you know, me being a Croatian, this is just not the place for me to stay long. But Belgrade is way better than Zagreb, bro. You know, if any Croatian is telling you that Zagreb is better than Belgrade, that's just pure delusion. There's nothing, not one thing better in Zagreb than Belgrade. Nothing. It's simple.
I don't know
And
what
I'm Croatian.
I don't know.
I just come back from Zagreb not long ago, bro. It's fucking so boring. It's like not even big, and they can't clean the graffiti off the wall. Jesus, reminds me of a lot of Eastern
As
Europe.
soon as they take it off, it goes back on there.
Not in Vienna, my bro.
Oh, really?
Bro, in Vienna, they not only remove graffiti in District 1, at least, anyway, the good parts, like the capital, they refurbish the actual infrastructure, the periphery of the building to make it look new. And they do this constantly, the government. That's why the streets not only are intact, but they are refurbished.
Mm.
There's almost nowhere like District 1 or Zurich or Geneva. I mean, these places are just, they're incredible, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually going to go to Vienna shortly.
Oh, yeah?
Shortly.
Killer.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Listen, I gotta go.
Okay.
Let's end the stream for today, guys. If you have any questions, join our Patreon, and we'll answer